On to another fun video. I'm gonna have Brady choose what books that I'm gonna be reading. We are in St. Lucia right now and we're really excited to be here. I've been here one other time and loved it. It's gonna be really fun, like a few days that we're here. I have tons of books in the stack. Do I think I'm gonna finish all these? Absolutely not, because we're not gonna be here a super long time, but I do want to have him choose. So Brady, come join me. This book right here is a book that I started and I have like 100 pages left, and it's a basketball romance. It's great, big, beautiful. I went to pick this up in the airport and I was telling Brady the name of it. I was like, it's called Great Big Beautiful, and I was like, it sounded like I was gonna say Great Big Beautiful Boobs, but it's not that. And Revive Me, this is the second book in a series. I'm not really sure what this one's about. I think it's Mallory's story, and this book right here is a sports romance, and this one is a baseball sports romance. I'm not gonna really tell you too much about it because I just want you to figure it out. There's two more books, Landing on Mars and then The Favorites by Lane Fargo. So you get to decide whichever one you want to choose.
Tell me about the book boyfriends.
Okay.
I can have some unrealistic
stuff. You're better than a book boyfriend though.
I don't know. I'll be like reading like one page and it's the most unrealistic thing I've ever seen in my life.
Like what? Like what? Like what?
Like, I'll glance and be like, it doesn't even make sense, right? He's 6'12". His man parts are longer than a Monday. And he's born with a birth defect that makes him spin and vibrate.
Oh my god. Honestly, someone has probably written that.
And his mom's a dragon, so
probably. And he has wings, probably. You choose. I can't tell you what it is.
I need to know about the dudes.
Okay. I don't know. I haven't read them. So, like, I have no idea what the guys are like.
He's an athlete.
You don't want the athletes in there?
You gotta be able to beat him up. This one looks kind of boring.
Guys, Brady is so freaking funny.
Don't give me attention.
You're like always making me laugh. I love how you're just like throwing them out left and right.
I'll pick this one.
Great Big Beautiful Boobs.
Yeah. I can beat the shit out of this dude.
Okay, let me look at it.
This khakis.
If you have a husband or a boyfriend that's like into like boxing and stuff, I know that I'm not the only one whose partner is always like you'll just come up and be like, not to me, but like to air. All right, we're starting Emily Henry's newest book. I'm actually really excited that you chose this one because I've been wanting to read it. I was telling him that this is like one of my most anticipated reads for the year, so this is what we're reading. Now that we're packing up the bag to go, I always try to get everything that I need before I leave, but I always forget something, I swear. This actually isn't a beach bag. It's like a regular tote bag. But I think it's so cute and I bring it with me whenever I go to the beach because it's like I don't have to switch this bag whenever I go to dinner. Like I can use the same bag whenever I'm going to dinner. But yeah, we're pretty much ready to go. So I'm bringing the book with me and I'm bringing my Stanley. I try to drink 2 of these while I'm on vacation. This is one of the biggest tips that I have for like if you get really bloated on vacation or like whenever you travel, drink lots of water. Like by lots I mean like, I don't know, 80, 100 ounces. Like drink a lot of water. It helps me so much. But I'm gonna bring this. I also have a beach towel in here. This is like a bookish beach towel, which I'll probably show you guys down there. I have my book, and yeah, I think we're good to go. want to give you guys a book update on all the books that I brought, but also I want to give you an update on what I started today. Yes, I know everything I brought. It's a lot. It's honestly way more than I needed to bring, but that's just how I am. So I always feel like I need to bring tons of books, and I also feel like I need to bring my Kindle as well because I just never know what I'm going to be in the mood for. I did want to give you guys an update on this book because I did finish this. Actually, I finished it before I even got here, but I wanted to bring it because I wanted to take like a few pictures like on the beach and stuff with it because I knew that the release was going to be today, and I love supporting authors whenever they have books that come out. This is a book that I absolutely loved, and I don't know if I even finished it in the last reading vlog, so I didn't really give like a wrap up with it, but 4.5 out of 5 stars. If you like a book that feels like you're watching a movie while reading it, you will love this one. If you like something with lots of angst, if you like a story that is very heartfelt, deep, emotional, but a very quick and easy read. Like I finished this in literally like, I think 24, a little over 24 hours. You have to pick this one up. You can see that it's definitely had lots of love. It's like a little bit bent, and I loved it. Honestly, I was very, very close to rating this a 5-star, and I remember walking in the airport with Brady. I was like, I love this book so much. Should I rate it a 5-star? And then I always think if I am thinking, should I rate it a 5-star? It's usually not a 5-star read because when it's a 5-star, I know it's a 5-star. So yeah, I love this one so much, but really there isn't anything that made me not want to rate it 5 stars. It's just like that feeling. And then, guys, so I started reading On Merit Alone, and I actually started this, like not that long ago. I think it was like a little over a day ago, and I started it because so many people have said that this book is a 5-star read for them. They loved it. Sorry if the water is like loud. There's like little pools down there, so that's what that noise is. But so many people rated this 5 stars, but there aren't a ton of ratings. I think maybe like 400 on Goodreads or something like that. And I picked it up because I knew it was a basketball romance, which is what initially drew me in to read this book. Guys, I'm not kidding when I say that I finished 300 pages in one day. Like, I don't know if that's even happened, like, ever for me when it's a book that has such small font. Like, it's very, very small font. And I just was expecting to take a little bit longer with this. I'm not even joking. I think that this might be my favorite read of the entire year. Like, genuinely, and you guys know how much I love The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. Like, I know that I'm going to love Can't Get Enough by Kennedy Ryan because I love her writing. I also really love this book as well. I think that this is going to be maybe even a 6-star read for me. Like, I'm loving it so much. And I think the thing that is, like, making me love it so much is the characters in this feel real. They actually feel like real people. And it's about a girl who's in the WNBA and a guy who's in the NBA. And the girl, she kind of like keeps to herself. She's had some things happen in her life that makes her want to keep like her heart shut off from people. She's like very like, I'm just in my own world, like I don't need anyone kind of thing. And if you like Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid, pick this book up because it talks so much about the sport, but it's not like in the weeds where it's boring. Like, you see her work so hard to like be successful, and you also see what she has to deal with as a woman in the WNBA in comparison to like the guys who are in the NBA. So it talks a lot about that and like the differences between men and women and like how much harder women have to work to even be seen as like an actual basketball player. I'm loving this. The romance this is one of the best slow burns I've ever read, and I think it's because the tension is tensioning. Like, please read this. It's also on Kindle Unlimited, and the reason I know that is because I voice noted Kalila, and I was like, please pick up this book. I don't care what else you read, you need to read this book right now. And she checked on Kindle Unlimited, and it is available there, so she's gonna read it. I didn't even know it was on Kindle Unlimited, but the characters in this, they don't even hug until like the 200-page mark, and they don't even kiss until like the 300-page mark. So, I mean, you just have to know that it's like a true slow burn, but she is one of those people who is just like so fearful to like let anyone in. And so sometimes in books, like, they're like, oh, she's scared to let anyone in, but it's like by page 50 she's like wanting to hook up with them. It's like she's not scared at all. Like, this character feels very real. And I am loving it. I only have like 100 or so pages left, and I'm really hoping that Brady picks this. Well, no, I have 200 pages. So I think this is like 520 pages. But I really hope that Brady picks this as one of the books that I can read. I'm letting him decide what I read. So tomorrow I'm going to let him choose another book, and then every day I'm going to have him choose another book, even if I haven't finished the book that I'm reading. So he could choose every single book in this stack for me to read. I don't know. I also brought the favorites, which I feel like I brought this on every vacation and I haven't picked it up, but I really want to because I've heard great things about it. Honestly, there isn't a reason why I haven't picked it up. I want to read this. Like, there's just so many books that keep coming out that I cannot pick this one up. So I'm hoping to read that one really soon because I do think I'll really enjoy it. I started Great Big Beautiful Life, which is, I was telling you guys earlier, it's so funny because when I was telling Brady that I want to pick up this book, he was like, what's the name of it? Because we were looking for it in the airport together. And I was like, oh, it's called Great Big Beautiful. And I was like, oh, Great Big Beautiful. And then it like turned into this joke where it's like Great Big Beautiful Boobs, because it sounded like that's what I was gonna say. But the acronym is like BBL if you take out the great part. It's like Big Beautiful Life, like BBL. Which, I don't know, we were just like laughing over it. We thought it was funny. I'm not super far into this. I am on chapter 4, so I'm only about like a little over 30 pages in, like 35 pages in, and this is good. I do think that knowing the type of book that I was going to be reading really helped a lot with my expectations, because I thought this was going to be like a mystery, because I saw like Reese Witherspoon's book club is doing this as like their read for this month, and I saw on their Instagram that they were like promoting it, and they were like, oh, it's like a really good, like it has like mystery in it. So I was like talking to Cleo about it, and she's like, well, I've heard that it has more of a mystery that's similar to like the Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo type mystery, not like a cozy mystery, like not like a whodunit, more of like a you're figuring things out. And I was like, oh, that makes so much more sense. So I really love the Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I'm really glad that she could give me that perspective, because now going into it, I know that it has that vibe. And also she said it's supposed to be more contemporary fiction and less romance, which is kind of interesting because she wrote Happy Place, which I think is similar to that type of vibe. It has like a subplot of romance, and then Funny Story was like heavy on the romance. So I almost feel like every year maybe she's gonna go back and forth between like subplot of romance, heavy on the romance, subplot of romance, and so forth. So I'm enjoying it so far. I love that her characters are always kind of like quirky a bit, or not even quirky, they're just like there's usually a super happy character and a super grumpy character from a lot of the books that I've read, and the main character in this is very happy. She like finds like the good in everything. So enjoying that, and it's a great read for being out in warm weather. Also brought Landing on Mars. This is a book that is a forbidden romance. I actually made a reel on Instagram. It'll be up by this point, so you guys can go check it out. But this is a forbidden romance. It does have the cheating trope in it, so I always feel kind of weird about that, because reading Love Letter to Whiskey, it had so much mess in it, but it was like intriguing in a sense that I couldn't look away. Like, it was like a car crash. I like wanted to keep looking at it. And books like that I either love or I hate. So I'm really excited to read this one because I've heard great things about it, and there aren't very many reviews on Goodreads for that either. I also want to read The Plan by Janiyah Bennett, and this on the back it says she had one rule, no boyfriends till she was 25, but he had a plan, one that could change everything. So it sounds like there's going to be a lot going on in this book, because she doesn't want to have a boyfriend, and obviously there's a main guy character in this who's trying to change that, and it's also a sports romance. I realized that I haven't read a lot of sports romances, and I've been wanting to read more, and the reason I realized that was because I went to go make a like little TikTok, and I was gonna have like sports romances by Black authors, and anytime I make a video, it always is like with books I've read before, unless I specifically say like these are books on my TBR. And I was like, oh, I don't even have a lot of books to recommend, so I wanted to add more of those in, which is also why I picked up Shoot for the Stars by Sienna Smoak, and this is about a girl whose former track coach turns a little bit creepy, so she decides to leave that school and go to a different school, and she's I think a track star, and I think the guy like plays football. Yeah, he's a wide receiver, so they also both play sports as well. And then I also brought Revive Me, because I want to get more into this series, and I think that I'm going to enjoy Mallory's perspective so much, because I've heard nothing but great things about the rest of the series. So those are the books that I picked up. I'm really excited to read them just because I don't know, I've been wanting to read all those books for so long, and honestly I have the hardest time choosing which book I want to read when I go on vacation, so I just bring them all, because it's like, why not? If I can fit them in my suitcase, then why not bring the books that I want to read? And yes, could I read them on my Kindle? Probably, but I just love a physical book, and I love reading in tandem with my Kindle too, so like I can also read on my Kindle while reading a physical book, and it's not hurting anybody to bring lots of books. So tomorrow Brady's going to pick a different book. I'll see if he maybe picks the same one, or if he picks a different one, but I think it's like it'll be a fun little challenge this week to see. And then once we go home, after the vacation's over, instead of having him pick a book every day, I'm just gonna finish out the books that he picked from the beginning of the little challenge. So I thought that would be fun. So yeah, we're gonna go down to dinner and then probably come back up and relax in our room or go to sleep. We have a dinner at 8:30, and there's a little show tonight, so we might go see that. Lots of little things that we could do, but I definitely going to be reading a little bit more too. Also guys, I literally have to show you this. This is the reason why I cannot keep up with authors, because this book is coming out in May 2025, and Allie Hazelwood has already released one book this year and is coming out with another one in the fall. Allie Hazelwood released Deepened in February, is releasing this new book in May, and she has Mate, which is I think the book after Bride, maybe it's a vampire thing, I think, or werewolf story, comes out in October. These authors, I don't know what is in the water, but they write so fast. I don't know how they do it, but it's I want to read them all. I just literally cannot keep up. But it's just so funny, because I was literally telling Brady this morning, I was I bring all these books because I want to read them, and I can't keep up with them, and that's just the perfect example of why I can't keep up with the books that are coming out. Alright, stay tuned. I'm going to have Brady pick my book for today. There is one book that I would really love to read, but I'm going to let you choose whichever one you want, even though I've hinted a little bit at what I want you to pick.
This is the one you read yesterday?
Yeah, I read 50 pages of that one.
Put it somewhere else.
Okay. Not going to say what I want you to pick.
No.
Alrighty! Brady!
What is this?
The Favorites by Lynn Fargo.
They look like they're banging on the front.
They're ice skaters! They're ice skaters.
They're doing some nasty stuff.
No, they're literally ice skaters.
No.
I think you think every book I read is crazy
Yeah,
spicy.
you got some weird stuff. Landing on Mars.
Uh-huh.
No thanks, Elon.
Okay.
No, this is, I already said no to this one.
Okay, there's only 2 left. There is one that I want you to choose. There is one. What are you gonna choose? Just pick it.
Here. This one.
Okay. Oh, yes! 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 Oh, you're the best. This is what I've been wanting him to pick.
Six Merit.
Yes. Merit on Merit alone.
Six Merit.
This is the one I've been wanting him to choose because I am really far into it. And it's feeling like it's gonna be a 6-star read, so thank you. It was kissed your nose. We just finished eating lunch and we came out by the water and I want to try this candy I've never tried. It's called Picnic. We're gonna try it together. Babe, do you want a piece?
Sure.
Okay. It has peanuts in it. It has raisins, chocolate, and caramel. Ooh, never tried it before. There you go. See, I like trying new candies whenever I go like to different places.
Oh yeah, looks like a.
Is it good?
Looks like a 100 gram.
Oh really?
Kind of.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, that's good.
The aftertaste doesn't. It tastes more of the rice stuff.
That's good. I like trying different candies in different areas because like there's so many ways to like put chocolate together with other stuff that might be better than like how we eat it. I did also get a Twix bar too in case I didn't like this, but who am I kidding? Of course I love chocolate. I was just looking on my phone and I got this like notification. It said that Frida's new book comes out in May. This woman just released a book in January. Like, how are you releasing books this fast? And then she has another one I think that's coming out in the fall, which was wild to me. Like, I just don't understand how they can release books that fast, especially because it's not her full-time job. She's like a psychiatrist, I think, but hot take, I do think that she is coming up with her ideas by like taking stories from her clients, allegedly. That's my 2 cents. I do think I'm gonna buy this book though, because I didn't buy The Crash by her, which came out in January, but I'm kind of wanting to read another one of her books, and I don't know, I feel like this one has an interesting premise, so I might pick this one up, even though I said that I probably wouldn't pick up any more books by her because most of them have been pretty mid. I did like The Teacher though, but The Boyfriend just like really sent me over the edge. I was like, I don't know if her books are for me anymore. So I feel like maybe this new book will be the tiebreaker to help me truly decide. So afraid I'm gonna drop this camera into the water. Hopefully you guys can even hear me. It's so windy out here and it's also very the water is really, really loud, but it is so nice reading outside and I forget how much I enjoy it in different like climates. Like we don't have a beach obviously where I live, and so it's just really nice to read in a space that's like different. I don't know, I'm really loving it. So I'm gonna sit out here for a little bit more and try to like soak up the last bit of the sun of the day, and then I'll give you guys a little bit of an update whenever I get back to the room. It's our last day and Brady's gonna pick my last book. This is gonna be the book that I finish along with the other 2, which I obviously started these, I just haven't finished them yet. So I'll take these 2 out and then you get to pick any of these for me to finish. There's so many good ones. Before I like pulled out the camera, he said, which one do you want me to pick?
I'm tired. I'm tired, Grandpa. I'm done picking books. I don't know, they all look the same.
They kind of do. We were up so late last night because we were watching the NFL draft. Much later than we stay up normally. You really can't go wrong because I feel like all of them are really good.
You gonna read this one on the plane?
Whichever one you pick, I'm gonna read on the plane.
I'm not gonna make you read this one on the plane.
It's an ice skating book.
Yeah, but people are gonna be like thinking you're a freak. You read this one.
Yay! Which is actually funny because this is a spicy book, but
Look at the covers.
yeah, I know. This one definitely is giving, like, they're hooking up, but yeah. I think he's doing like a lift with her. Wait, hold on, Lucy.
Why did you stretch
I was
out?
trying to do what she was doing because she has her hands up in the air. Okay, hold on. Yeah, because she's got her. Oh wait, no, she's got her hands down. She has her hands. I thought she had her hands up.
You're like a toddler freaking out.
Okay, hold on. Oh. So now I'm going to be reading Revive Me, which I'm really excited about this one because it's been on my TBR for a while. I haven't picked it up. So hopefully it's a good one.
It drops and it stacks to close. Drop and stack to close. 10 total. Little oblique work, a lot of shoulder stability is happening in the opposite leg if you're in that lift, glute supporting. Good. When you're done, we'll come back forward for a little stretch. Put those hands here. We're just going to push away and lower down. My feet are attached to the shoulder blocks. My head's hanging heavy.
Back in town, the first thing that I wanted to do was come into Barnes because there's a book that recently released that I want to pick up. Okay, this isn't the book that I wanted to pick up, but can we talk about this special edition of Love and Other Words? I feel like I need to bring this home, even though I already own the Steamy Lit special edition of this book. I like literally read this every single year, so I feel like I have to bring this one home. This tote is so cute. These aren't the books that I would normally pick to be on a tote like this, but I bet I could find something like this on Etsy that has like romance books on it. I want to give you guys an update on both of these books because I just like, I don't know, I felt like this year the new releases are just not hitting like I thought they would. And I don't know if my expectations are too high, but it's like every new release that's come out, like Say You'll Remember Me, The Love Lyric, No Ordinary Love, The Love Simulation, Just Our Luck, like, and then now this one, I had such high expectations for them, and the books are not bad, like at all, but they're not a book that I would like write home about, and I just expected so many of these books to be like 5-star reads for me, and I don't know what it is. I do kind of feel like authors will have like one hit book, and then it'll be like the next book or the next book after that is like one that people aren't as obsessed with, and maybe it's because our expectations are too high, like from the previous book. Like Funny Story was so good. Like I love Funny Story, and this one's obviously very different, which I knew that going into it, but this is very different. It kind of reminds me of The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, like in a lot of ways, but I just feel like there's a lot going on. Like I am having a hard time keeping up with like Margaret's story and then the love story between Hayden and what's her name again? I literally forget. Alice. And it just, I don't know, it feels like a lot is happening in this book. And then like Hayden has some stuff that he's like nervous about, like family stuff. And I just feel like there's so many side plots and so much going on that it's like, it's possible to keep up, but it's like, I just don't know what to care about, you know? Like, I feel like usually there's a really heavy plot or like one subplot. And so then you know like where to put your focus on or like where to like, I don't know what to care about. And I'm like, I can't care about all these things. So there's just too much. So this book, I am on chapter 26. So I'm pretty far into it. I'm at 295, but it is not really hitting like I thought that it would. Like, I rated Funny Story 4.5 out of 5 stars. Honestly, most of the books that I've read by Emily Henry, I have rated very highly. The only one that I didn't really rate highly was Book Lovers, but Happy Place, I rated 4.5 out of 5 stars. And again, Happy Place is very different than Funny Story. Like, they're very two different books. I feel like one was like heavy on the romance, Funny Story, and then Happy Place, I feel like, was very focused on friendship along with the romance. The romance was definitely still there, but I feel like this, like, I've read books where the story is about the main character and also about something else, like Real by Kennedy Ryan, but I feel like that was done so well. Like, I am getting two very separate stories in this, and I don't know, I feel like with the initial story with Margaret, I feel like I was getting so much like telling and not showing at first. And then it's like, okay, now you're showing, but you're showing it too much. Like, you're taking me away from the actual story between Alice and Hayden. I don't know, just the balance seems different. I don't know if she started writing and then like took breaks and then came back to it. Like, I don't know, it just feels a little disjointed, but I love the cover. Like, the cover's good. I feel like right now it's leaning towards like 3 stars, which kind of sounds wild because her books I never really rate under 4 stars, but sometimes it's just like that. And I also rated Say You'll Remember Me. I think I rated that 3 stars too. And I don't know. It just, something's in the water because these books are different. I will say this book has been the biggest surprise for me. Like, and also with this one, I knew going into it, it would be it would be different than what I expected, but I'm okay with that. Like, Happy Place and Funny Story were very different stories, but like knowing what they were gonna be like really helped with my expectations. But this one still isn't like, it's still not doing it for me. Initially, I did feel like I would really love it, and then as I got more into it, I was just like, I don't know. This book has been the biggest surprise for me, and I think it's because I read Restore Me, which is the first book in the series, and I rated it 2 stars. And I don't say that often because the book, I do think that people will like it. I personally did not. I feel like it was so heavy on the spice. Like, it was a very spicy book. I feel like it took away from the plot, and I also feel like the plot was a bit predictable because, and again, it's like romance. So like, you know, it's already kind of predictable anyway, but it's like an enemies to lovers. But I feel like I didn't get like actual enemies enough. Like, they're very much like, ooh, I don't like you. And then you get their inner monologue. It's like, I'm obsessed with them. Like, so yeah, it just wasn't, like, the tension, which was the enemies to lovers part, was not tensioning enough because they weren't actually enemies to each other, like, at all, either of them. So, because there was no tension really, and there was just like so much spice, I was like, okay, like, I know where this is going. Like, they're gonna get together. Like, there isn't really much that's like holding me and like making me want to continue to read. And again, the spice was heavy, like so heavy. This book, eating it up. I'm for sure rating this at least 4 stars, at least. It could definitely go up in a rating. I'm in the middle of a chapter. This is kind of crazy because I never stop in the middle of a chapter, but I was reading last night and I got so tired. I was like, I cannot read another page. I'm on chapter 20, but I'm on page 185. So I'm really far into this. And what's wild is that I'm on page 185 and we haven't really gotten spice, which is surprising because the first book was so spicy. And this one, it's alluding to spice. Like, you're getting like, you know, if he gives her a hug and it's like you're, you know, feeling how she feels, but it is, I don't know, the tension is there. I'll say that. And you guys know I love a book with tension, and it's just so good. It's so good. I also feel like I know the spice is coming, but I don't mind that. Like, if you have a story where it's very low spice and like I don't really get a ton of spice to the end, but there is a lot at the end, that's fine, because I've already built up the relationship with these people in my head, and like I want them to be together. So yeah, loving this. And there's also a lot of tension because both of the characters are fake dating, and it's like a real life fake dating situation. Like, you know, sometimes people do like fake dating. It's like, okay, that's not actually real. Like, no one would actually fake date for that. No, this is actually a reason to fake date. And both characters have their own traumas that they have to work through. It's just really good. I will say one thing that's really holding me about this one is I forgot how beautiful Emily Henry's writing is. And I have to ask myself sometimes, like, when I'm reading a book, do you like the author's writing or do you like the actual story? Because I love her writing. There's actually a point in this book, and again, not spoiling anything at all, but I mean, y'all know it's a freaking like romance, but there's a point in the story where the characters, they hug, and the way she describes their hug, I was like, ooh, this is sensual. Like, this is so sensual. This is so like spicy. Like, the way it's described is very much like, wow, that's a hug. And it kind of reminded me of like how, you know, whenever you really care for someone, anything you do with them is special, whether it's holding hands or hugging them. And it kind of describes like the guy putting his head into her neck and kind of like nuzzling into there. And it kind of describes just like both of their bodies fusing together. And the way it's described is so beautiful, just so beautiful. So I will say I love her writing. She could literally, and this is why I will always pick up her books, because her writing, even if the story isn't my favorite, her writing will always pull me in. But yeah, I'm really loving this. And I'm so excited to continue the series, even though this book is literally huge. It's so tall, and it's like 400 and something pages, which I feel like is a lot for a romance. I'm eating every bit of it up. Like, I don't want to put this one down. This is the one I want to constantly gravitate towards. And I'm kind of trying to finish the other book because I want to just read this one. I don't want to have to go back and forth, which is so rare because usually I want to have multiple books to read. But that's when I just know I'm like obsessed with the book. Like, I cannot put it down. So yeah, I'm going to keep reading this one. I'll give you guys my thoughts as I go, but I'm so surprised that like I'm loving this one as much as I am. And that just goes to show you should really give authors like multiple tries when you're reading their books, because I'm not kidding. Their first book that I read, 2 stars. Like, I would recommend it, which is very rare because usually if I have a 2-star book that I read, I don't really want to recommend it, but I would recommend it to other people if they don't mind like a crazy amount of spice. But for me, it just wasn't for me. But now I'm loving this one and I want to continue the series, and these characters feel so real, and I don't want to put it down, and it doesn't feel too long. Like, the other book was like, oh my God, like, when's it going to be over? And now this is like, I hope that it just continues to go on and on and on and on, which I did hear that this is only part 1. So there's a second act of these characters. So I'm really excited to like continue reading this one. Yeah, loving it so far. I could see this one being rated even higher than 4 stars just because like I'm only halfway through. So like there's still so much to go, but we've really just gotten into like the first part of like the fake dating. So I haven't even really seen like the whole them trying to fake date thing yet. Just seen like bits and pieces. So I feel like once we get even more into that, I'm just gonna eat it up even more. And these characters feel very, very real. So I love books like that so much. want to give you guys a book haul, but I also want to give you guys a little review of On Merit Alone, because I finished that book and I don't think I really even talked about it. I love this book so much, and I'm so serious. Like, when I first started reading this, I knew that this was going to be one of my top books of the year. I honestly think that it might be like my very top book of the year. Like, I really enjoyed it. The Conditions of Will is like the only other book that I feel like has like a similar like ranking, and this book just came out of nowhere. I have heard so many people recommending this book, but there aren't a ton of reviews. I think there's maybe 500 reviews on Goodreads, so I wasn't really sure what I was going to get into. I loved it. 5 stars. 5 freaking stars. It's so good. And I've been really enjoying Revive Me by J.L. Seekers, and I almost feel like if I hadn't read it after a 5-star read, I would love it even more. Like, I already told you guys I'm for sure rating it at least 4 stars, but as I'm reading that book, I have not been able to stop thinking about this book, and the characters, it feels like they're real. I want to read this book again. I want to annotate it. It's just such a great read. I think the thing that I love most about this is there are not a lot of stories that talk about people who really struggle to let people in the way that this book talks about that. The main character in this, and I want you guys to kind of go into it blind because that's how I went into it, but the main character in this, she is in the WNBA, and the main guy character, he's in the NBA, and you see him having a very full life, and you see that she doesn't really have the same life experience as him, and I'll leave it at that. And it just was such a great book. It was very long, but I only finished it. It was literally like a maybe 3 days, maybe 2 days. I don't know. I think it was like 1 or 2 days that it took me to finish this. It's definitely a slow burn. They don't even hug until I think page 200. They don't kiss until around page 300. There's a little bit of spice towards the end, but it's not like wildly spicy at all. So for someone who doesn't like a lot of spice, I think that this would be a good book to read, because even though a little bit of spice at the end, it is like stuff that you can easily skip over, because like, and by the end I mean like page 400 and something, like, then the book's like 500 pages. So like, we're dang near at the end of the book by the time that you get those experiences. But the way that these characters care for each other is just so beautiful to see. If you like a acts of service type of guy, you'll really love this. You can see he's very intentional with her feelings. If you like to read stories about a girl who runs often, like who, you know, this main character, I feel like you don't see it often because she has a career where she has to be like front facing. She's like the best on the women's basketball team. She's incredible at what she does, but she's so fearful to let people in, and she runs like often. Like, she wants to open up and then she'll be like, oh, I shouldn't have. And she'll like turn around and just like try to bolt. And I feel like that is so like real to life. Like, how often do you go to like say something and be vulnerable and you're like, ooh, I probably shouldn't say that, or I shouldn't do that, because like, what if this person doesn't last, or what if this experience is like me thinking it's bigger than it is? And like, I loved this so much. I definitely want to read more from this author. Her writing is really good. I thought it was beautiful. So read that book. I do have a haul here for you guys, so we're gonna go through these. I ended up getting 3 books while I was at the bookstore, and I'm really glad that I got these 3 books. And one of them is a special edition, which I showed you guys in there, and it is Love in Other Words. I read this book every single year, and I've rated this 5 stars. I'm going to read it again this year, but I'm going to read the copy that Taylor, my friend, annotated for me. And then next year I'll probably read this copy. But I have another copy. I don't know if it's on this shelf or not. Oh yeah, it is. It's from Steamy Lit, and it's another special edition copy. So I honestly want to own all the special editions of this because I love this book so much. I also love that the main character is a woman of color. I love that the romance is so soft, and it's a friends to lovers story, which is how my husband and I fell in love with each other. It feels very like nostalgic and just like such a sweet read. So I definitely want to read it again, and I will probably read this one next year, because I already own one that's annotated, and I want to see, like, obviously all of the things that Taylor annotated. And I also picked up Wild and Wrangled. This book right here is one I didn't think I was going to pick up because I read Done and Dusted, and I didn't really like it, like, at all. Like, I think the story was cute, but there was so much spice that I feel like, again, it took over the story. It was definitely those types of books that's like, I can see why it's popular on Book Talk, because the spice is like all that there is to like keep the story going to me. And it felt very like cheesy, which I don't mind a romance that's cheesy, but when it's a romance that's cheesy throughout the, like from start to finish, sometimes it gets a little bit old. Unless I'm going into it for that. Like I know there's some fluffy cutesy romances. I just didn't think that that was going to be that type of book, which I don't feel like it was, but I don't know, it just wasn't my favorite. So I've heard a lot of great things about this one. It's the last book in the series, so I always like to give authors like a second try, because I know this author has another book coming out this fall, and I don't want to like completely write off this author, you know what I mean, because of one book, because again, you guys can see I'm loving Revive Me like so much, like I don't want to put it down. And it's by an author who, the first book I read from them, initially I wasn't obsessed with. So I want to read this one. I've heard great things about it. And I also feel like as authors continue to write books, their writing changes and grows and evolves with them. So this is like the 4th book in the series. It also has a really good premise. It says, the book comes from the New York Times best-selling author of Lost and Lassoed comes the latest book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series, a small-town romance in which past lovers get a second chance to discover what they lost. She's the one that got away, he's the one that never let her go. And I love second chance romance. I don't know why, I think to me, it's easier for me to root for a second chance romance than anything else because I already have that history. I think one of my least favorite tropes, like if I had to pick one, it would probably be like insta-love. And not even like, cause like some insta love is fine. Like if they meet and they're just like enamored with each other and like they can't get enough of each other. Like in Only for the Weak by Natasha Bishop, I feel like that was very much insta love, but I loved it. And I think it's because they like knew of each other. They weren't like complete strangers. Like they didn't know each other, but like the guy was the best friend of her ex-boyfriend. And they didn't really hang out or anything, but she like knew of him. So it's like, okay, yes, you know of him. Like I think I've told this story before, but my parents, they were married for almost 35 years. Obviously my dad passed away before their 35th wedding anniversary. But what's so wild is they didn't date at all. Like literally they did not date. They, yeah, I know, isn't it wild? They didn't date, but my mom knew my dad from like age 10. They would play ball together. They like would just like run around, and my mom has 13 siblings and my dad had 6 siblings. And so there's 7 boys on my dad's side, including himself. And then there's 14 children on my mom's side. Again, both same parents. They just had really big families. Like I come from really big families. They all lived in one house. Like, can you imagine like just how boisterous that would be? And so they would all like, you know, be like, get the small boys, like bring them over, like we'll play ball. Like you got a freaking football team, like both of the people, like both of the families put together. So they would come over and my mom just like knew of him, like knew, you know, who he was, and they would like, you know, play like a baseball or football or whatever sometimes like with the families, but they weren't like close. And my mom tells a story about how they went back to, my mom was like living in New York at the time, and my dad, I can't remember if, I think he was in Illinois, somewhere in Illinois, because both of the families are from Illinois, but my grandma had wanted her kids to come back and help paint her house, which is actually so cool because she's living in the same house now that she was living in then. I just think that that's like so cool. So all the kids, they're like, we're gonna come back and we're gonna paint this house. We're gonna like, you know, do some updates on it. And my grandma was like, okay, also get the small boys because there's 7 boys over there. We can get some free labor. So they're like, okay, we'll come over. So they come over. My mom, she like comes back from New York to help paint. And while they're painting, my mom was like, something happened. It was just like a spark. And my dad was just like, you know, they couldn't get enough of each other. They started talking, like, whatever. So she leaves to go back to New York after the house is painted. And cause I mean, there were a lot of people, so it didn't take that long. And she leaves and goes back, and my dad calls her and was like, you're gonna be my wife. Like literally he's like, you're gonna be my wife. And she was like, what are you talking about? Like, no, like, I don't know what you're talking about. She's like, no. He's like, no, you're gonna be my wife. Like, I like want to marry you. And so she was kind of like, okay, I don't think you're actually serious. So he let her know that he was very serious. He like kept pursuing her and was just like, we're like meant to be together kind of thing. And he's like, we have all this history and just all this, like literally like a movie. And my mom like didn't think he was serious initially because it's like what? Like, and obviously they ended up getting married. They literally got married 30 days later. Didn't have my oldest sister, or my second oldest sister, didn't have her until, I think it was like a year and a half after they were married or something like that. Like, I just think it's such a beautiful love story. So I do know that stuff like that can happen in real life, but is it something that happens often? No, like it's just not. And I think it's interesting because my mom, she had been dating my very oldest sister's dad. They were together for 6 years. They got engaged, like, and then they ended up breaking off that engagement, I think when she was like 7, I think. And she just like realized like it wasn't gonna work out. And so now in like my parents' wedding pictures when they got married, like my very oldest sister was like, she was in it, she was a junior bridesmaid, and like it literally is like a movie. And seeing that story, again, it shows me that like that can actually happen in real life, but it just doesn't happen often. So I feel like whenever I read a book that is insta love, if it's insta love, but they like know of each other, I'm like, okay, that's fine, because like to me, it can like actually happen, like, because I've seen it happen. Well, I haven't seen it, but you know what I mean? I'm living the experience of two people having that happen. But I still feel like second chance romance is a little bit more believable because they have like a lot more history together. So really excited to read this one. And then I also picked up If We Were a Movie, and this is by Zakia and Jamal, and this is actually the book that I went in for. It's a new release. It literally just came out. Let me read the inside. It says, lights, camera, love. Rochelle, the Shell, that's her nickname apparently, Coleman, is laser focused on only 3 things: becoming valedictorian, getting into Wharton, and of course, taking down her annoyingly charismatic nemesis and only academic competition, Amira Rodriguez. However, despite her stellar grades, Rochelle's college application is missing that extra special something: a job. When Rochelle gets an opportunity to work at Horizon Cinemas, the beloved Black-owned movie theater, she begrudgingly accepts the job to boost her chances at getting into her dream school. There's only one problem: Amira works there and is also her boss. Rochelle feels being with Amira is its own kind of horror movie, but as the two grow closer, Rochelle starts to see Amira in a new light, one that may have her beginning to actually ... like her. But Horizon's in trouble and mysterious things begin happening. It's up to the employees to solve the mystery before it's too late. But as they team up, will love also find its way into the spotlight? I just thought that this would be really cute to read, and you guys can see from the front cover, it just looks like a really cute story. So yeah, I really want to read this very, very soon. I'm not someone who's normally into young adult books. Like, I don't normally gravitate towards them, but I have been like wanting to pick them up more often than I have in the past. So I'm hoping to pick this one up and read it very, very soon. The sun is so bright out and I'm absolutely loving it. I'm also really enjoying this book so far. It's really cute. It's a MM romance by Talia Hibbert, and I've read I think 2 of her other books, and they were really cutesy. I wanted to read this book before the end of the month because I finished Restore Me or Revive Me yesterday. Was literally in shambles, like literally in shambles. I already ordered the next book, so I'm really excited for it to get to me because I immediately want to read it. Like, I'm literally adding it to my TBR for next month. It ended on a cliffhanger that I did not really see coming, and I think it's really rare to find a romance that like makes me like surprised like that. Like, it's just so rare. I feel like usually I kind of expect a specific ending, or I kind of know what's gonna happen. This book left me in shambles. I will say, if you do pick up that book, do not flip to the last page because it will spoil it for you. Even if you don't like really like fully read the page, like it will be spoiled for you, because I was actually flipping through like to see how many pages were left in the book, and I accidentally saw the last page and I was like, no, I can't look, which it still made the book, like the book wasn't any less good, but I think that it would have even been more thrilling if I had like not seen that last page. So keep that in mind. If you're someone who's reading like a physical book, you probably aren't gonna like accidentally flip to the end of a book if you're on your Kindle. But well, I guess that book isn't even on Kindle. I actually was looking to see if it was on there because I wanted to read it while I was like taking down my hair, and it wasn't on there. So yeah, I like couldn't read on there, but I ended up reading something else on there. So yeah, I am loving this book so far. I'm probably gonna finish it like today, I think. Today is the last day of the month, and I will have probably read, I think, 16 books, like if I finish this one, which I think that I will, because it's like a really easy read. Talia Hibbert's books are pretty quick, and this one's only 281 pages, so it's not like I'm reading a 300-page book. And this book is also really small. Like, I don't know if you can tell the size. It's like a little bit bigger than my hand, so yeah, it's a fairly easy read so far. So yeah, I'm gonna finish this, and then I'll probably give you guys an update tomorrow, just because I am like planning out Brady's birthday stuff today, and he doesn't know what's happening. I'm really excited to surprise him because like last weekend while we were out of town, I texted a bunch of his friends and was like, hey, like, we're gonna go to a bar, we're gonna all get together. And it's so hard to like get people together, I feel like, especially in your 30s, like when people have their kids and like have, you know, just busy weekends. It's like so rare. But one thing that really helps is not giving people too much time if it's not something that's like really hard to make happen. Like, we're getting together on a Wednesday. It's not like we're spending a weekend. It's also right after work. So like, I just said, we're gonna get together, we're gonna get drinks, we're gonna meet at 6, leave at 8, we're gonna go to a bar, nothing too wild. I'm gonna order wings while we're there, and then I'm also gonna order some drinks, but he does not know at all. And so I think one thing that gets people somewhere is if they know like a start and end time, and if they know that they can come for a short time, because everyone's busy, especially during like the middle of the week. So I'm always like, if you can only stay for 30 minutes, that's totally fine. If you can only stay for 45 minutes, that's fine, as long as you like show your face. And I feel like having that level of like the pressure's taken off a bit, it makes people more inclined to like come. So yeah, I just told people come right after work, come at 6, because like by the time people get over from across town, it'll be like around that time. Also, we have some friends who are coming from out of town. And another thing I feel like that gets people to come to stuff like this is if they know that other people are coming. Because like, this is gonna sound bad, but like, FOMO is real. So like, when people know that other people are driving from out of town, it's like, oh, you better get your butt up and you better come and like celebrate your friend. So yeah, and then of course free beer always gets people, especially guys, to come. Not every guy, but you guys know what I mean. And so yeah, I'm gonna be paying for like the wings and for beer. But what's funny is, so I was like texting everyone, and Brady saw on my phone when we were on vacation, his friend Stuart, who never texts me. I think the last time that he texted me was, or I texted him, was like on Brady's birthday last year, or something like, it was something like that, or like we went to like a country concert or something, and like something related to Brady, but I didn't like want him to know what was happening. Probably like a little surprise thing. I've never done like a surprise party though. I've done like surprise gifts, like concerts and like baseball games and stuff. And like I coordinated with Stuart and his wife like a baseball game for all of us to go to. So that's probably what I was texting about. But anyway, so he saw that text and he was like, "Oh, so you're planning something? Like, oh, you're like something's happening with Stuart." And I was like, "No, like I'm such a bad liar." So I was like, "No, like nothing's happening." And so then he was like, "Oh, well, I bet you're gonna plan a baseball game, or I bet you're planning a concert." And I was like, "Okay." I just like kind of was like, you know, I don't even know what to say. So today I felt so bad because it's his birthday, or last night. I decorated the whole house with like balloons and stuff. He gets up at 4:30 every morning, so I knew he would be gone like really early. But I gave him one gift last night, which was like some little mints. I gave him like 16 different cases of these mints. He loves them. They're like the icebreaker ones, and I gave him a bunch of different flavors. And then I gave him a gift early this morning. It was like 5 a.m. before he left. And I gave him 2 sweat sets from Comfort. And the thing about birthdays, especially with guys, is like it's so hard to figure out what they want, because like they're so, not every guy, but like my husband is so like, oh, like I'll be happy with anything, like I don't need much fanfare, like I'm not a big birthday person. Whereas I'm like, if it's my birthday, we're celebrating me, it's like a whole thing. So like I want him to feel celebrated, you know. So I gave him a gift last night, even though it wasn't his birthday. I gave him a gift this morning, and then I went to his office today, brought him his favorite popcorn. I made like a whole reel about it on Instagram if you want to go see. I also gave him some like beef jerky. I gave him some sparkling waters that he loves. I also gave him just like little things like that, like snacks and stuff that he like really enjoys. And then I think that's, oh yeah, and I gave him some Nespressos because he loves the Nespresso that we use, and I gave him some more pods. So just like little, you know, things like that. I brought him a smoothie from this place that he likes, and then I brought him a cherry pie. We ate that with lunch, and I dropped it off, and he was like thank you, you know, thanks for coming. And he had asked me yesterday, he was like, are we doing anything this weekend? Like my parents might want to go to the farm. And I was like, no, we don't have any plans this weekend. And I feel like he was asking because he's like what, do we have any birthday plans? Like, is anything happening? Like, and last year we had like, it was a fun birthday, but like we celebrated together. It's not like we did anything wild, like, but he always goes so extravagant for my birthdays. And so I always try to do something for him. And I think last year, that was the year that we like planned maybe like a Cubs game or something like that. And so I wanted to do something this year, but we like just got back from traveling, so I know he doesn't want to travel again. So I was like, what can I do? And I think like his love language is physical touch, and his like second, which is like very close, is quality time. And I was like, if his friends come in town, he's gonna just feel so loved. So I gotta make this happen. But the thing is it's scary to invite people, because like what if no one shows up? You know what I mean? So all those little tricks, like you know, telling people like with not too much notice if it's something like midweek. Also another thing, so like I always send out a reminder text like the day of that something's happening. And whenever I texted everyone last week, I got so many people who were like, oh, I'll try to be there. There were only probably like a few people who were like, for sure, I'll be there 100%. And I think it's because people just like don't know what's going to happen. So you don't want to like feel bad if you tell someone you're going to be there and you're not. So many people are like, I'll try to be there. I'll try to be there. So today I sent out this text and I was like, oh my God, Brady has no idea like what's going to happen today. Like he is going to be so surprised. There's going to be tons of free beer. So like come ready to drink. And I was like, see you tonight. I didn't even say like, did you figure out if you'll be able to be here tonight? Like, is it going to happen? Like, I didn't even give people an option to say no, because I feel like sometimes, this is going to sound bad, but I feel like sometimes if people get an option for someone to be like, oh, can you come? They'll be like, actually, like, no. And it's not that, I don't think like people are bad people if they aren't able to like come to an event, but I think sometimes people's life just can get in the way, like especially if you have people who are counting on you, like kids, or maybe you have a job that's like wanting you to stay late, just, you know, maybe you had a really terrible weekend, maybe you got into a fight with your partner, like I don't know. And so, you know, it's like a short, oh my gosh, that bug scared the crap out of me. Oh, is that in my shirt? I don't know where that went. I feel like I flicked it off, but yuck. But anyway, I feel like, it literally still feels like it's in me. But I feel like if you give people an option, they're going to be like, sorry, like, I don't know if I can make it. So I was just like, see you tonight. Because when I send a text that says see you tonight, 9 times out of 10, someone's not gonna text me back and be like, oh, sorry, I can't come. You know? So it's like, you're coming. Like, I decided for you. So everyone texted me back and they were like, can't wait to be there. It's gonna be so fun, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, you decided, or I decided for you. But yeah, so Brady was like, are we doing anything this weekend? I was like, no, like, you know, we don't have any plans. And he was like, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna make you some steaks tonight. I was like, is there anything special you wanna do tonight? Like, is there anything you wanna do this weekend? He's like, no, like, you know, there's nothing special. And I felt so bad because he just like walked down. He's like, no, like, there's nothing. Like, but a lot of his friends like don't live in town. So, you know, it's kind of a bummer when your friends don't live in town. And some of them do, of course. But like, I think sometimes like it's easy to not want to be a bother to someone, especially if you don't have like a big thing going on. So I'm hoping that this goes well. I'm gonna make like a little reel of that. Oh my gosh, these bugs are crazy. But I'm gonna make a little reel about it. I'm glad I have my hat on because I do not want these bugs getting my curls and taking them in with me. I'm gonna make a little reel about it, and I will share with you guys. Hopefully it turns out well. I got some balloons, I got some snickerdoodle cookies, which he loves. I got a cake, some cupcakes, and then I printed out some pictures to put on the table of like old school type of pictures. So should be really fun. I'm getting ready to go set up Brady's stuff for his birthday at the bar, but I want to give you guys a little haul. Just of a few things that I picked up, but I have to show you guys my hair. I know I talked about my hair in the last video, but I just feel like I found exactly how I want to do my hair. And this turned out a little bit different than I did it on Tuesday. And the reason is because in this style, I actually like washed my hair. After I washed it, what did I do after I washed it? I think I put it into braids. Yeah, I put it into braids, and then I like stretched it, like stretched it. And that was like the second day. So then second day I like wore my poof, you know, whatever, wore out. And then the next day, which was last night, I had my hair in braids or I had my hair out because obviously I'd worn it out throughout the day. And then I'm trying to think of like step by step if anyone wants to have their hair like this, because the last style was like more like puffy and like afro vibes, and this one's like a little bit more textured, so it just depends on your style. Like I like both, but this one after I had like a full day of my hair being like out, whatever, it still was like kind of not wet, but like it was, cause like I didn't use my Rev Air like right after I washed it. I just put it into braids, and then when I took it out, it was a little damp, but it ended up drying throughout the day because I had it in like a little poof or fro or whatever I ended up doing. I can't remember. It doesn't even matter. So then yesterday it had been out, so I took section by section and sprayed each section with a little bit of water, and then I used a little bit of leave-in conditioner, not too much, like a very small amount, and then I put those pieces into my Rev Air, and it like made my hair so like perfectly defined, because when I did my hairstyle on the last video, when I put it into my Rev Air, I did not use leave-in conditioner on it. I washed it, and then I used like leave-in conditioner while I was like, you know, after I got out of the shower and it was like wet and stuff. But I didn't like put it on each strand like right before I put it into the Rev Air, if that makes sense. I just kind of like put it all throughout my head. This one had a little bit more product on each piece, and I feel like it turned out just so nicely. So anyway, I did that, and each piece was not as, like, it didn't dry in the same way as the first day. Like the first day it was like bone straight dry. The second day, because I had product in it, it dried, but you could tell it was a little bit more like weighed down by the product. It wasn't like I couldn't do this and make it like just, you know, flow in the wind. Like it was a little bit more weighed down by the product, which is what I wanted, because then that night I braided my hair back up, which I do every night. Braid my hair literally every single night, or I do like a twist, braided it, and then I put flexi rods on the bottom in the same way that I did in the last video, and then I took the flexi rods out this morning, and I put my hair into like 2 little pigtails while I was reading, and then I put it back into, and the pigtails helps to like stretch it, and then I put it back into a little, and the pigtails, the hair was still in braids. I'm trying to like give you a whole step by step, and if you guys want a whole video, I can just show you like I did in the last video. That might actually be easier. So then after that, I took my hair, and put it into a ponytail, went to work out, came back from my workout, and then I took my hair out. Now my hair was fully dry because I used the Rev Air, but again, it had like more product in it, so it wasn't like the type of hair where if I like did this, it would like go up and down in the wind. Like it wasn't as like fluffy feeling, and I love how it turned out. So anyway, it's a little bit more textured than in the last video. If you want to see how I do this, let me know. I love both styles. They're both really, really fun. But yeah, so the first thing that I actually picked up, I forgot to show you guys. I got this bookmark when I was in, where was I at? I was in Barnes & Noble the other day, and I forgot to show it to you guys. It's like a bookish bookmark, and I love bookmarks like this that are like very book focused. Very cute. I also picked this up a while back, and it just came in. I got this from a small Etsy shop. I think it was Etsy shop, and I will link it below if you guys want to pick it up. And I got this for my Kindle. This is so cute. It's such a pretty pattern. It's a Kindle case, and I definitely needed to have one because my Kindle's just been raw dogging it. Like literally it's like just been laying around, and I definitely wanted to pick up something like this to put it in. So this is how it looks. Hopefully you guys can see that. Such a cute little pattern. And then I got this big box, and obviously those two were bookish related. This one is not bookish related, but it's something I'm excited about, and I feel like you guys will be too. I'm very like I talk a lot about my health and like wellness, and while we were on our trip, that was the first time since October that we just like ate whatever, didn't really follow like what we normally follow like with how we eat, and we didn't even go wild. Like we just would eat like a burger with a bun, or we'd have fries. Like we don't eat fried food normally. We just eat anything that comes from an animal, so like milk, eggs, cheese, meat, fruits and vegetables, and that's it, unless it's like a weekend and we'll only eat those, anything else every other weekend. It's not even every weekend. And when we do, like we still don't have like a ton of those things because we know how we feel afterwards. So this trip was the first time, even like around Christmas, I think Christmas and then Christmas Eve and New Year's Day and New Year's Eve were both days where we kind of just like ate whatever, but we didn't like have a whole week. This is the first time that we had a full week pretty much of us just like eating whatever, and our bodies felt it. I literally am still recovering, and I think I had a total, so it wasn't even like the alcohol, because I was really trying to think like what did I eat. Like it wasn't even the alcohol, because I probably had each day maybe like 1 pina colada, maybe 2. Like we didn't really drink a ton. Like we don't really drink a ton anyway. But whenever we were there, we had a ton of sweets. We had a lot of like fried food, packaged food. When I came back, I'm not kidding, even while I was there, but like especially when I came back, I felt so lethargic. I felt so tired. I felt almost like I'm sick, like getting sick. And I was telling Brady, I was like, both times that I went to the gym, I felt like I'm going to just like throw up or like pass out. Like my body is not like keeping up, and that just goes to show that your diet and like what you eat, and I don't even want to say diet, because I feel like when I think of diet, it's like I think of like start and stop. Like this is something you do for a short time. Like the way you eat and the way you take care of your body plays a huge part in how you feel. Like I never normally feel bloated. I usually have a lot of energy. I usually, like, you know how sometimes you'll have a meal and you like feel really full and your stomach's like pushing like against itself, and it's like, oh, like it kind of hurts. I never feel like that. But when I eat a meal, I feel full, but I have the feeling in my stomach of an empty stomach. You know, like when you're hungry and your stomach is empty, it has that feeling like of it being empty, but I'm actually full. Like it's such a weird thing, because, and I think I'm realizing that it's like, we're not used to having that feeling because for so long we've just eaten the wrong things. So yeah, now I'm trying to get back to like what we normally do, which has been very easy because I just want to like feel better, but also very hard because sugar is addicting, and sugar is in literally everything. Sugar is in your sauces. Like when we don't do sauces, we don't do juices. Like someone asked the other day, they're like, well, what do you normally drink? And I'm like, water, literally water. I will drink half a gallon minimum of water every single day. And like even right now, like I got this smoothie from this juice place for Brady and I, And the smoothies, like they make it with all fresh fruits, like there's no sugar in it, and I couldn't even finish it. It's like my stomach is just like not, it's like very unsettled, and I am just realizing that what I eat has definitely played a part in how I feel, and that's why we want to continue like eating the way that we do. So I got two things in here. They are from Hydro Flask. I gotta show you guys this first one. It's so freaking cute. Because I drink so much water, I feel like I can treat myself with a water bottle because, yeah, like, why not? I love Stanley water bottles, but I only have one Hydro Flask. So, this is the one that I got, and how cute is this? Like, is this not the cutest thing you've ever seen? Like, I love this. And you can actually feel the decal on the outside, but it's not, like, it doesn't come off. Like, you can feel it. Like it's raised a little bit, but it doesn't, it is not going to come off like in the dishwasher or anything. So I got this, and then I also got another one, and I want to get these patterns because I know that these patterns will go out of stock, and I've seen people get them, and I do not want to be the person that's like, dang, I should have got this and it's like gone and I can never get it again. These will be perfect for summer. Look at this one. This is the new pattern or another pattern. I will link it below, but they're like almost always sold out. I'm honestly surprised that I was able to get this while I did. So those are the two Hydro Flasks that I got for myself. Really excited to use these, and I feel like because they're so cute, I'm gonna wanna use them more. Also, what's nice about Hydro Flask is the little like water bottle or the little straw part goes like in and out, which I think is so great because I absolutely cannot stand constantly having my straw open, and then like the rest of the straws in here, but I can't stand having my straw open to the world at all times. Like sometimes I'll be outside, I'm like, did a bug get in there? Like, I don't know. So really excited about this. Again, still love my Stanleys. I use them all the time. I use honestly lots of things all the time. And so yeah, I have the Hydro Flask and got the Kindle case and have the bookmark. But let's go down to the bar and get everything set up. I texted Brady and was like, hey, do you wanna go get some drinks after work? Like, and I can make the steaks tomorrow, because I've been like hyping up making these steaks, because I was like gonna be like, I don't really feel like cooking kind of thing. And he goes, maybe. He's like, maybe. It's been like a really long day today. He's had like not the best day like at work. And as a business owner, I get it. It's like some days are just harder than others. But he's like, maybe it's been a long day. I'm like, what if he says like, no, let's actually stay home? Because I mean, it's his birthday. So like he gets to do what he wants. Like, what am I gonna do? Like drag him there and be like, no, you have to come. Like, I don't want to spoil the surprise. So anyway, I'll keep you guys posted, but I'm gonna take you guys with me whenever we go decorate. Huge stack of books that I'm actually not gonna open until the next video, just because I feel like this one's already been so long, so I don't really need to like get into this box. I just am gonna do it in the next video. But seeing this box, it made me think of this post that I saw, and the girl who posted it, her name is Nicole Ryan Books, and she's like an author. And she was saying that she's leaving Kindle Unlimited, and in the caption on her Instagram, she shared why. Very small author. I think she has like about 5,000 friendships on Instagram. And she was saying she's leaving Amazon because on Kindle Unlimited, they have to, like, you have to have exclusivity if you share your books on Kindle Unlimited. So she is staying on their website, but she is gonna try to diversify her books on other platforms because so many people are deciding to boycott Amazon. And she said that 70% of her profit comes from Amazon, but she's saying that so many people are not shopping with Amazon, so now she like wants to diversify and try to find other platforms where she can share her ebooks, not her physical books, because again, she said she makes most of her income there. But it really brought up like a topic that I feel like I haven't seen people talk about, and that's like how authors are navigating the boycott on Amazon, because you guys know that I'm someone who has been very like open about how I feel like me, I will never tell someone how they should or should not shop or what they should or should not do. But for me, I try to do my best to navigate like everything in the world the best that I can. So for me, I try to shop with indie bookstores. I try to shop local. I try to shop and support small underrepresented authors. And this box specifically has so many books, like so many books by really small authors. Some of you guys have never heard of before. So again, I'll share that in the next video. But so many of these authors are not on bookshop.org, and they're not on literally anywhere other than Amazon. So anytime I do like an Amazon like book on haul, people are always like, oh, like don't shop, da da da. And to me, it's like, okay, until I have another avenue where I can buy books from these authors, especially the authors who do not have their own websites, like, do you just think that people shouldn't support the authors at all? Like, and I don't know, the author who made this post, I hadn't really seen that perspective before, like how it is it's affecting her income, and how now she's like losing so much of her income as an author, and she's trying to figure out like how she can like survive. And I don't know, I just think it's interesting because she was like, I feel like we're hurting authors more than we're actually hurting this like massive company. So I don't know, it just really made me think, and I feel like it's a conversation that maybe we should like open up dialogue, because she said that she is going to be on other platforms, but like the other platforms like aren't as big and not as many people use them. So yeah, I don't know. I try to do the best that I can. Like I genuinely feel like you can't be perfect. Like someone the other day, I can't remember, I think it was when I got like a Instacart order, and the Instacart order had like plastic bags, and someone was like, oh my god, like you shouldn't use plastic bags, like you're like, that's terrible for the environment. But little do they know, like I always am using my like water bottle instead of using like plastic water bottles, and that to me is like, okay, I'm helping to use less plastic in that way, but maybe I'm using a little bit here, but I'm using less here. And again, people will be like, oh, you should do this or that, but maybe they're flying on a plane and it's like using jet fuel for, you know, something that's not going to help the environment. And so I don't know, I just feel like I try so hard to be very conscious, but again, like as a human, it's like you have to have nuance. So I don't know, I was just talking to a friend about that not too long ago, and how sometimes it feels like we can't do everything, but we want to do everything. But I don't know, like for me, it's like, okay, you don't shop with this like bookseller, but then how do you support that small author who is getting less visibility anyway, like especially in like marginalized groups and stuff. But then if you do only shop with this like, you know, company, then you're also not like, you know, able to support indie bookstores, because you're constantly shopping online to get these like, you know, books that are a little bit cheaper, but they're also books by authors that aren't like known very well. I don't know, I feel like I'm not articulating this as well as I want to. It just made me think of it when the book or the box came in. Sorry if you guys can hear that, they're working on the book room downstairs. I cannot wait to show you guys. But yeah, I try to do a little bit of everything. Like you guys will see like book hauls from Amazon where I'm sharing like very small authors that only have books on there for the most part. But then you'll also see like book hauls from Call and Response Books, which is like one of my favorite Black-owned bookstores in Chicago. You also see me drive 45 minutes to go to the closest independent bookstore that has new books near my town. You also see me drive an hour and a half to go to the closest bookstores that are independently owned in my hometown. I just went to that last week in Edwardsville, which that was an hour, not an hour and a half. But, you know, I try to do like the full breadth of things to help lots of different types of people. And I don't know, it's just like so hard because you like want to do everything, but it's like literally impossible, like actually impossible to do. So I think as long as we're trying to do our best and we have like the best intentions, then I think that that's what's going to like really move the needle more than anything, versus like, and again, I never tell anyone how they should or shouldn't spend their money, but I do feel like having like very hard extremes can sometimes it can sometimes alienate like the little guy. So I don't know, I really hope that by me sharing these like small authors and like getting you guys excited about them, I hope that it's like filling their pocketbooks and they're able to give back to their communities and they're able to actually sell books and make a living out of this. Because like I just saw Janisha Boswell, one of my favorite authors. She's in the UK. I think that's so cool. And she just got picked up by a like traditional publisher. So like now she's gonna be traditionally published, but I don't feel like that could have been done without her community that's like been supporting her books. And a lot of her book sales come from probably Amazon. Like she has her books on Kindle Unlimited and like she shares often, you know, her updates and stuff, and the links are to Amazon. So I think about that a lot. And maybe as I get older, I will have like a better understanding of like how my like footprint has affected people, and like I can see more of that. Like example with Janisha Boswell, it's like I've been buying and supporting her books and talk about her books for so long, and now she's traditionally published, so now she's going to be in a big box bookstore, so maybe she'll be in like a Barnes, or not Barnes, but like a UK version of Barnes. And then maybe other people who have independent bookstores, they'll pick up her books and be like, oh, it's popular, like we want people to talk about it, like we're going to put it in our bookstore because it's also in this big bookstore. And then maybe she won't be selling on this like massive corporation. I don't know. I think it's cool to see like how your footprint affects like the world, but also it takes so much time to be able to see that. So maybe when I get older, I'll see like more of that. But long story long, I want to give you guys a book update of like all the things that I've read. I started out the week reading On Merit Alone. Freaking 5-star read. I feel like I don't really need to say too much else about this. If you love a slow burn, if you love a book that's gonna like make you really emotional, if you love a character who doesn't want to let people in, and it's also basketball romance, if you love sports romance, I think that you'll enjoy this one. And she is also kind of like, it's like a grumpy sunshine, but not really, because people perceive her to be grumpy, but she's actually not grumpy. She's just like scared to let people in. So it's more like fear than anything. I rated that one 5 stars, and then I read Great Big Beautiful Life, and all these books that Brady picked, I honestly think that they were great, but this one definitely didn't hit the mark. I didn't love it as much as I thought I would. It definitely reminded me of The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. If you did like that book, I feel like you could like this book, but go into this book expecting that vibe. I was told to expect that going into it, which I think helped me to enjoy it, but I am going to rate this 3 stars, which is my second lowest rating of any book by Emily Henry. I think the other book was Book Lovers, and that is probably still like bottom for me. That and like People We Meet on Vacation. This one maybe would be above those two somewhere, but I think they're all rated 3 stars. And then I read this book, revived me, left me on a cliffhanger, could not get enough of it, rated this one 4 stars. I can easily see part 2 being a 5-star read, easily, like no questions asked. I feel like as you get into a story and you like learn more about the characters, you fall in love with them even more. And part 2, which is the 3rd book in this series, is about these same characters. So again, I feel like I'll get more of them and I'll fall even more in love with them. This is a fake dating trope. This is also set in college. It has 2 characters who have really like went through a lot of hardship, and you're seeing them fake date and all that comes with that. The ending leaves you on a cliffhanger. I just cannot recommend this enough, which is wild because I didn't really enjoy the first book of this series at all. I rated it 2 stars, and this one is a 4-star read, and I could easily see book 3, part 2 a 5-star read, which is crazy. So it has made me more open to picking up books by authors that I don't normally read from, like reading the new Lila Sage book. That's going to be exciting for me because I didn't really care for Done and Dusted, so I want to see my thoughts. I read Flawless by Elsie Silver, didn't really love it, but then I read Heartless by Elsie Silver and absolutely ate it up. Rated that one 4 stars, rated Flawless 2 stars. So I definitely want to read more from authors and give them like a second try. And I encourage you to do that too, because I feel like sometimes we can like read one book by an author and completely write them off, but maybe it's like a trope we don't like, or just maybe their writing style was different when they first started writing books versus now. And then this book right here, I really enjoyed this one. I think I'm gonna leave this one at 3 stars. This one was cutesy, wasn't really too much to write home about, but it was really cute, and I would probably recommend this to someone who wants like a really spicy read. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.